Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's day is Wednesday, the 21st of February 2024, the year of 1 million transactions per second or more. Buy BSV.live, probably the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online, the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Right, first of all, let's just jump into a little bit of 365 days of Bitcoin history. Here we go, even though history is being made every day at the moment. Oh my goodness me. So anyway, let's just go back quickly. So today we also found out who Thymus was, although apparently he's already been doxed already. What was the name? Michael something or other? Michael Merchhart? Something like that it was called. Hold on. Got the name here. Merchhart. Let's have a look. Looking at some of my own posts here. Michael Marquardt was Thymus. There we go. So now we know who that is. But on the 21st of February 2010, there was a quote here from Satoshi Nakamoto that said, "Nodes stop trying to initiate connections once they have 15. If you can accept incoming connections, then you can get well above that from nodes connecting to you. Otherwise, you max out at 15. Let's have a quick look at that. There we go. I don't know if there's any reason to have 15 connections. Maybe it should be 10. Since nodes that can only connect out are probably at or near 15 most of the time now, you should level off to an equilibrium. 45 suggests a ratio of 3 out-only nodes to every 1 in-accepting node. The number of connections won't be a good gauge of the size of the network anymore. Someone should periodically IRC to the Bitcoin channel or chat freenode.net and count the number of users. That gives you the total count of network nodes except Tor nodes. Block generation is again running ahead of pace. We're in for another big step up in difficulty at the next adjustment in about 5 days. There we go. So that was the 21st. Hold on. Yeah, 17th. Crikey, time flies. Yeah, we're on the 21st. That's right. So we did, yeah. So we also continued. It would be nice to have a list of static IPs for new users to send test donations to so they can see how the software works. If you can accept incoming connections and you have a static IP address, post it here. Anything sent to these IPs should be considered a donation. And again, I wonder if this is where Blockstream and all their devs got the idea from having donations sent to them. If you do request a round trip, be sure to include your return Bitcoin address or IP in the comments, but please assume it'll be one way. There won't necessarily be watching for incoming transactions to send or to send back. And he continues, excellent analysis, XC. A rational market price for something that is expected to increase in value will already reflect the present value of the expected future increase. In your head, you do a probability estimate balancing the odds that it keeps increasing. In the absence of a market to establish the price, New Liberty Standard's estimate based on production cost is a good guess and a helpful service. Thanks. The price of any commodity tends to gravitate towards the production cost. If the price is below cost, then production slows down. If the price is above cost, profit can be made by generating and selling more. At the same time, the increased production would increase the difficulty, pushing the cost of generating towards the price. In later years, when new coin generation is a small percentage of this existing supply, market price will dictate the cost of production more than the other way around. At the moment, generation effort is rapidly increasing, suggesting people are estimating the present value to be higher than the current cost of production. That is a great explanation there. It's a great explanation there. He said uploaded some IU changes to SVN as version 0.2.5 instead of view show generated. Now we have tabs, all transactions sent and received. Makes it a lot easier to flip to receive and check for payments. Move your address book inside the main address book. It was confusing having 2 address books. I found the 2 in form unknown to one of your Bitcoin addresses. Still confusing, so I changed it to from unknown receive with. The Bitcoin address is abbreviated so you can see the label that you sent in the receiving tab of the address book. Fix a few UI glitches from the upgrade to WX Widgets 2.9.0. I haven't forgotten about you people who want non-UI, but I had to do some fun stuff before more building bashing. There we go. So the next post was on the 23rd. So there we go. That's a little bit of your Bitcoin history. Also on the 21st of February 2014, there was a title here from TechSpot that said Overstock does nearly $1 million in Bitcoin sales in the first month. God. And that was back in 2014. And they did $1 million in Bitcoin sales in the first month. That is huge. Overstock CEO Patrick Bryan is no stranger to being an early adopter of technology. He was among the first to purchase He was among the first to purchase one of Tesla's Model S electric cars 5 years ago, and apparently some things never change. As you may recall, Bryan's company recently became the first major online retailer to accept Bitcoins. So how's that working out for them thus far? Pretty good, actually. According to Bryan, the site processed $870,000 in sales from almost 4,000 orders paid with Bitcoin. Strangely enough, the most popular item among virtual currencies Aficodios is bedsheets, followed by computer hardware and mobile phone accessories. Of course, becoming the first major retailer to accept Bitcoin was no easy task. Payment processor Coinbase flew an employee out to Salt Lake City to help work with Overstock to make it a reality. They basically locked 40 people in a room for a week to work out the kinks and becoming the first was bound to deliver a ton of positive press and business. But Bryan's interest in Bitcoin extends well past an extra payment method for Overstock. The CEO liquidated several $1 million worth of his holdings in gold and converted it into Bitcoin. He said he ultimately wants to be able to pay vendors and employees in Bitcoin too if they choose. But why is he doing all of this? Because he wants to further the cause of Bitcoin, plain and simple. That was until Blockstream and Adam Back stepped in and screwed it up for everybody, telling everybody you're not meant to use it. It's a store of value. It's digital gold. It's digital dog shit. What a load of crap. So it just goes to show you that people did actually want to use Bitcoin, not some Lightning Network rubbish. Wow, what a great article that was. Also on the 21st of February 2022 was when Intel unveiled its 3,600 watt ASIC Bitcoin mining rig. Apparently it was the company's first mining rig, and it's capable of up to 40 terahashes per second. There we go. In brief, Intel's first ASIC mining solution isn't quite as powerful or as efficient as existing offerings, probably wouldn't do too well then, from companies like Bitmain, MicroBT and Canna. However, the company seemed determined to develop increasingly energy efficient solutions that it believes would help reduce the environmental impact of mining Bitcoin and other proof of work cryptocurrencies. Oh, awesome. Right. Not going to bother reading the rest of that, but loving that. And today on the stand, on the 21st of February 2024, Marty Malmy admitted under oath in the COPA Satoshi identity trial that creating a new Bitcoin forum effectively removes Satoshi Nakamoto's access to the forum, and that Satoshi Nakamoto would have needed to ask permission to access it. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. And as Gavin rightly said on one of his posts, yeah, here we go, look at this. He said, Craig has always said he was locked out. The repo, website, forums, etc. were changed without his blessing. We now have absolute confirmation of that by the one who did it, which was Marty Malmy. Once again, how did he know that? You should be piecing this together by now. Absolutely shocking. We also found out that he was in cahoots with Thymos, who was Michael Marquardt, as we found. But let's just go through some of these posts. So this is hilarious. Bitcoin News posted that Lightning, again the censorship-resistant Bitcoin scaling solution, says it's unavailable in the United States. Withdraw funds. Our Lightning provider is no longer available in the United States due to regulatory reasons. Please withdraw your funds from Lightning because it's a centrally controlled security offering. The token itself on the Lightning Network is a security offering, and it's not run on a globally distributed, economically competitive ledger. It is absolutely a security offering. No wonder. I mean, what a joke. What a joke. But we knew it anyway. So yeah, and I said on one of my posts here, Satoshi Nakamoto would have had to ask permission to access the new forum set up by Marty Malmi, Facepalm, because he said it effectively removes Satoshi Nakamoto's access, and he actually admitted that. He's like, he didn't want to say it to start with, but the lawyer, Craig's lawyer, actually said, look, that's the effect that it had, isn't it? And he said, yes. But all he had to do was ask me for permission, but did he? No, he didn't. All right. So he said, yeah, the identity of Thamus revealed by Marty Malmi, and Adam Back was up next on the Satoshi Trials stand. And I wrote here, the story is unraveling for COPA before our very eyes. CSW blocked from the forum created by Marty Malmi and co-conspirators including Thymos. And then what was this about Adam Back? I didn't quite, this is how I interpreted what he said. So basically it was just like, so he created something that had already been created but wasn't aware that it had already been created? Like, seriously? And later on he admitted there was a rich source of information around at the time Adam Back created his invention, quotes, about his invention, but he wasn't aware of his already created invention at the time he invented it. Question mark? Absolutely there are questions to it. Good grief. And CSW's lawyer actually laughed at Adam Back's suggestion that Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin off the back of his Hashcash creation. Because the lawyer actually pointed out, he said, well, look, your Hashcash creation has already been created by Cynthia DeWerk and, crikey, I can't remember, Cynthia DeWerk and something, Moni Namor. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it was something to do with the way that it was created. It was just like, well, look, it looks like this, the proof of work that Satoshi Nakamoto was used in the white paper is more similar to their creation than yours. And Adam Back was literally trying to dispute it. It was hilarious. And it proved here that Adam Back doesn't know anything about Bitcoin because, as Alex Flavel has said here, he said proof of work is not used to create the coins. 21 million coins were created once the first block was created. Existing coins are claimed when a block is found as per the initial offer, either by fee or by discovery. So the 21 coins were already programmed into the Bitcoin program. They've already effectively been created, whereas Adam Back was saying, oh, yeah, they're created by proof of work. Well, no, they're not. They were literally already programmed into the program. They had to have, the amount had to have been fixed and programmed in before the program was actually started. In order for it to be a commodity, you can't create something and then have control over the supply. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a commodity. The supply has to have been fixed programmed in before the program started running, so it could not be changed. So proof of work does not create coins. So Adam Back again, just completely wrong. And this was a great post here. I would have liked to have read this. So he said Satoshi never posted on Bitcoin Talk, and this was written by Craig Wright on the 31st of March 2020. He said, it is a myth that all the posts on Bitcoin Talk, bitcointalk.org, from my account, Satoshi, are in fact mine and have not been edited or changed, and that the login on the website belongs to me. Satoshi, as in I, never used Bitcoin Talk. My final post, in fact, links to a domain that does not exist. Oh my god. The images presented are all verifiable early versions of parts that would form the original Bitcoin website. Yeah, you will not see any of the associated links anymore. As you encounter a link to one of my supposed final posts on Bitcoin Talk, what you see may seem innocuous. To the casual observer, it will look as if it's a link to a post I made, yet the supposed author never made it. I can say, in other words, the creator of Bitcoin didn't make the post because Satoshi didn't. You see, the original forum was created as a subsite of the bitcoin.org website. It wasn't a separate domain. It's not too difficult to check what I'm saying. The Wayback Machine is not perfect, far from it, and it can be gamed, but the first time the Bitcoin Talk domain was checked happened to be in July 2011. Oh, and we've got links here. At the time, the website had not been created yet. There we go. You'll notice that the forum looks familiar very shortly afterwards. Oh, this is great. I love going back at Bitcoin history, finding out all this stuff. Just could do with having a bit more time on the show, really. Oh, just awesome. There was this. So this was also the a link here to the doxing of Michael Marquardt. There we go. The docs of Famous Michael Marquardt. Blockchaindb.com. Famous has set up his forum to automatically censor and ban users who post this information. His forum allows the posting of personal information of others. Many people find this double standards objectable. Well, absolutely, double standards. In the interest of full disclosure, this publicly sourced information has been reproduced below. Right, so there we go. Email Mike, a name, Michael Marquardt. So that was the doxing of him. And somebody else, again, I mean, the really not very nice things to be said about him. Doesn't really seem like a stand-up character. So on this thread, it said, "Who is Thymus and what did he do?" And somebody has said here on this thread, in the beginning, I thought he was cool for hosting the Bitcoin Talk forum, but when I found out he also ran the Bitcoin subreddit, I was already less amused that most of the online social interactivity could be controlled by one person. Then there were the Bitcoin donations that were never spent on improving the forum. Quite the opposite. The forum has actually become more broken and lost functionality. Still, that wasn't too bad. However, when he started censoring near majority opinion concerning the discussions concerning block size on Bitcoin, he crossed a terrible line. He also simply refused to give in, even though most people on both sides of the debate wanted to have it uncensored. This is all I know. I have no idea about the person, his motives, or other crap he pulled. Is there a good Bioscope write-up somewhere? So it looks to me like both Marty Malmy and Michael Marquardt literally were in the small blocker camp from the beginning because they do not want Bitcoin to scale. That's it. If it is a threat to the usual status quo, as a disruptive technology, as they say, those in power obviously will not want it. And those in power can print an infinite amount of currency, therefore there's nothing that they can't afford. They can actually, they can pay off the greatest developers, reward them hugely with stuff they just print from nothing, and say, look, we need to create this huge conspiracy around this thing, we need to stop it, change the narrative and all that. So literally they were on it like a rocket, and that's what we're seeing here today. And Alex, another great tweet here. He said, Adam Back just said changing the rules of Bitcoin is a bit like changing the rules of chess, and you need widespread acceptance of the changes to change them. No, Adam, if you change the rules of chess, you have a different game. That is absolutely spot on. It's if you're not playing chess, you're not playing chess. If you change the rules of chess, you're not playing chess. It's drafts or something like that. Checkers, whatever you want to call it. Honestly, absolutely hilarious. And the guy yesterday, Spiral BTC, Craig's Lloyds, again, just very, very cool. Asking him, you state very strongly that you're independent. What's the issue with being independent? Why do you feel it's so important to be independent? Oh, you're the lead, are you? You're the tech lead. So how do you get paid? Oh, right, all right. So you have money coming in from so-and-so, do you? And you're on the board of Block. Oh, you're on the board of COPA. Right, well, you don't sound very expert, and you're certainly not impartial. Now you're saying that you're on the board of COPA, and yet you're claiming to be independent. What an absolute joke this has been. I would say absolutely hilarious, personally. I've had great fun watching the trial. But there we go. That's a 20-minute show. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. There's going to be more on tomorrow. And as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.